Good evening, everybody, and a happy Monday to all of you. Hope you're having a great week so far. And welcome to week 6 of EDU6200. We're moving right along here with our course and some new updates coming this week to you. But before I get to that, as a reminder, some of you still owe me a discussion forum response post for week number 5. Make sure you get those in tonight by 11:55 p.m. Tomorrow we start week 6, and with week 6 comes some new things for you to be working on. First of all, we do have chapter 6 and the week 6 discussion forum group. Now, I haven't checked yet to see if they've posted, but they're supposed to post tonight so that tomorrow you can start responding to their posts in the discussion forum. And the same as every week, you're going to respond to them one time, and then you're going to respond to 2 of your colleagues in 100 words or more. That's the first thing for week number 6. The second thing, week number 6, is WCG number 2, the inventory. Now, on this, you're just giving a screenshot and you're posting it in chalk and wire. And many of you have gotten used to this now, where if you go into the portal and you click on the coursework tab and go to that assignment in week 6 for WCG number 2, it'll take you right to chalk and wire and put it in there for you. And that allows me to grade it one time and give you a grade in both locations. So thank you for helping me out. It takes less time when I grade it that way. So that's WCG number 2, and I think there's only like 6 of you who haven't done it yet. So please get that done sometime this week, definitely before October 1st, a week from tonight. The last thing and the big thing this week that is new in week 6 is our online video discussion. We're going to do that either on 9/25, and that's going to be tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and that's at 7 p.m., or it's going to be on 9:30, which is next Sunday, and that's going to be at 8 p.m. Both discussions will be about 30 minutes long. I emailed you all last week in the week 5 email a list of topics we're going to talk about, which, by the way, is a list of topics from the first 6 chapters, is a list of topics that are going to be covered on the midterm exam, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks. So good stuff for you to be looking at and thinking about, and that'll be our discussion. Now, how it's going to run is the first one, I'm going to kind of give you some ideas and things we're going to talk about, and I'm going to pose some questions based on those topics. I'm asking you to make sure you come prepared with some information to talk about, things you've learned, things you've picked up. The goal here is to have a back and forth discussion, things that we can't do because we don't meet face-to-face on a regular basis. Those of you with me over the summer, I did this with the data chats with you, and it worked really well. I got a lot of great commentary from you all about how well it helped you understand the topics better. And this is a way for us to do that as well, for you to ask questions, me to answer them, and even you all to answer each other. So 30-minute discussion. Now, how it's going to work is very simple. Tomorrow night at about 6:50 p.m., I will send an email out to you all with a link for Zoom. If you haven't logged on yet, go to Zoom and make sure you get yourself an account, and then you'll just go ahead and log in. It's very easy to use, and you can have a lot of people on there anytime. The thing is, it's only like a 40-minute limit. So hence, we're going to start around 6:50 tomorrow night and then finish up around 7:30. And on 9:30, the same thing. I'll email it at around 7:50 p.m. and you'll be on there. That's part 1 of that assignment. Part 2 is really important because you're going to submit a summary. And this summary can be 1 to 2 paragraphs, and it's really 2 things. Number 1, what did you learn from the session? And number 2, how can what you learned help you now as a teacher and in the future as an administrator? So both things in there, because a lot of this class, like I said to you all from day 1, is very practical, very useful information when you talk about law and ethics and what we do as educators. We just had a case in Hillsborough a couple of days ago, and you may have seen the news across the state about video voyeurism with teachers. And it's a real touchy subject, and I know a lot of parties involved in that case, so I won't talk about it more than that. Just to say, not only is it tough on the person who was accused of this, it's also very tough on the faculty and the school itself. And so understanding the law and ethics behind it are really important to make sure we do our jobs, not only as teachers, but as leaders in the school to guide our folks. So that's it for week number 6, just the 3 assignments. A little bit of fast forwarding to give you some idea of where we're going. Remember that WCG number 3, which is the compliance inventory, that is due a week from then. So it's 2 weeks from tonight on October 8th. And that assignment, you have to create that list from your school, and you're also adding a 1-page reflection. So it's 2 things in there. You got the list and you have the reflection. You are welcome to do the list as a bulleted list on like a Word document, and some folks have done a PowerPoint. Do make sure that your reflection is at least 1 page and you address all areas on the rubric. If you're looking for more details on WCG number 3, I spent time on that in the week 4 video. Feel free to refer back to that and look at those details. All that's going on next week, week 7, is that assignment and also studying for the midterm exam. And you will find a study guide on the right-hand side of the portal main page with chapters 1 through 6 of stuff I'm going to cover. And then the midterm exam basically is chapters 1 through 6 only, and it does cover, there's multiple choice questions, some essay type questions, things like that, and I'll give you more details about it next week. Excuse me, guys. Coming up in the near future in week number 9 is WCG number 5, Professional Development Research. This is the research assignment you'll present later in the course, but you want to be thinking about it now. In week number 10, WCG number 4, the Compliance Action Plan presentation. This is where you're applying the work from WCG number 3. And then week number 12 is the Field Experience Professional Development presentation, where you can present what you worked on in WCG number 5. So just some things coming up I want you to be thinking about. Also, WCG number 7 is there in the week of October 30th, our Halloween week. And that's a really neat assignment because it leads into the actual WCG number 8, the last assignment, which is the group survey. Sorry, guys, drawn a blank there real quick. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about tonight in this video is give you the information on the last 2 WCG assignments, which are number 10 and number 8, in that order specifically. Number 10 is going to be due during week 13, which is on the 19th. That's right before Thanksgiving. During the Thanksgiving week, you have one assignment only, and that is the week 14 discussion forum. And then the following week, week 15, is our final big assignment, and that's WCG number 8. And this one takes a while, ladies and gentlemen, so do not wait. Do not wait until Thanksgiving to try and do this one. You need to be looking ahead now, and that's why tonight I'm going to give you some information about both assignments. So you will find information about WCG number 10. It's going to be on page 10 of your syllabus. And it says in the description, identify 3 strategies observed in assignment 9. Okay, remember WCG number 9 was the one due last week, the field notes. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, the field notes. You have to identify 3 strategies during that piece, and you're going to then create a summary and include information about barriers to success that include disagreements and dissent by staying focused on the school vision, and acknowledgement of errors. So you've got to now expand on that assignment, and I'm going to go over the rubric in a moment to talk about how that is different. So let me get to that page. And the WCG number 10 rubric, if you're looking at it with me, first of all, you have to include 3 or more specific responses to barriers that are based on WCG number 9. These could be new things. These could be related to those things, but you're going into more detail. You have to get 3 or more acknowledgments of errors. So 3 or more acknowledgments of errors based on that as well. And then last but not least, a 3-page reflection talking about those things. So you could be listing the same ones you've done from the previous assignment, but now you have to reflect on those and how you might respond differently to them, or how you might respond the same to them. That is entirely up to you. It depends on how much you're in alignment with your administrator and what he or she might be doing. So those are some things to think about for WCG number 10. And that's not due for a while, but don't forget you can always send it to me ahead of time, and I'll be more than happy to look through it with you. The other assignment, WCG number 8, which is the group survey. And what you have to do here is you have to actually work with your administration, develop a survey to identify and look at strategies from number 7. So the community piece that you're doing on WCG number 7 plays very, very largely into this assignment. You need to make sure you get that piece done, number 7, very soon. You're going to have to survey families from the school and local community to get feedback. And then you're going to have to analyze that information. So this is a real big piece at the end. It's a lot of what our districts do. In Hillsborough, we do something called the TELL survey and the SKIP survey. We're getting information from parents and community members about how they are viewing our schools and what we are doing as a school district. So that's a really important assignment, number 8. So that's going to be found on page number 9 of your syllabus. And then, of course, when you look at the rubric for that assignment, you'll find that you have to have a 10 or more question survey. And this question survey can use multiple modalities. You might choose to do a Likert scale. You might choose to do a selection scale. You might choose to do something where they have an area to fill in information. But most importantly, you're posting the 10 question survey. And in the past, most of my students have done the same thing. They've kind of gotten 8 or 9, 10 questions that are all Likert type scales. They might have a selection question like, how many times a week are you communicated with by your school? And it might be 1, 2, 3 or more, and so on and so forth. And you may have a fill in the blank piece as well. Then you're going to use technology to summarize the findings. This is entirely up to you, whether it be a PowerPoint, a Prezi, something else you've created. That's great. You have to use technology to summarize it. So that's number 2. Number 1, the survey. Number 2, the technology to summarize it. Last but not least, you have to create a 3-page summary of the data. So that's the third assignment. This summary is only talking about the data and not your reflection on it. That is the last piece, a 1-page reflection on what you think about the data. And it's really going to be telling for you because you may not get a huge number of participants. We have that in our district. We get just enough people to get data for us to look at, but not enough to really say, yeah, we've got the majority of the school. In some of our schools, we don't get that huge turnout. Other schools, we get 75, 80%. It's entirely up to you. But this is a very, very in-depth assignment. I want you thinking about it now. I want you talking to your administrators. This week, while you only have the WCG number 2 assignment due, and you may have already worked ahead on number 3, which is that compliance inventory, that's great. You got plenty of time right now to say, hey, I'm working on these assignments. Here's what Dr. Richmond expects. Can we start working on this and get these things working together? Do not forget the tie-ins. WCG 3 and 4 are related. WCGs 5 and 6 are related. WCG 7 and 8 are related. And number 10 takes you back to number 9 we did a couple of weeks ago. So that's some good information for you. And I will send some reminders out as we go on in this process. I'll give you some more updates and information. But that's it for tonight. Hope you guys have a great, great week. I'm going to be out of town this next weekend, but doing the Halloween Horror Nights thing. So those of you guys who live in that area, I'll be out there doing that. But I will be checking on your stuff. I'll be looking at your response posts, things like that. By the way, the reason I love the fact that the portal works so well on the phone is, have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights or things like that? The lines are long. And this guy's cheap. So I don't pay for the express pass. So we wait in line. And what do I do when we're standing in line? That's right. I'm grading your discussion posts. I'm grading your discussion posts on my phone in line. So you want to laugh at that? Great. You think that's a really neat idea? I think it's ingenious. I mean, I might as well use my time wisely and get things taken care of during that time since we're waiting all night for a haunted house. I do not grade during the haunted house. I'll let you know that. No screams, no yells, nothing like that. Well, I'm not the one who screams and yells anyway. But you guys have a great, great night. You need me this weekend, feel free to text or send me an email. I will respond. I'll be checking in on things. And then those of you I'll see tomorrow night, Tuesday night for the chat. I might see some of you on Sunday for the chat. I'll be home in time for that. Not a problem. And have a great, great week, everybody.